Leaked official NASA documents reveal decades of high-level preparation for a mass extinction event set to begin in 2025. But this isn't just about wiping out humanity, it's about replacing us. Cyborgs, bots, and transhumanism are at the core of the global agenda, one that ties directly to the elite's obsession with depopulation. The goal? To plug humanity into a matrix, uploading consciousness to a digital cloud, where reality as we know it is a simulation, controlled and manipulated. The Matrix wasn't just a movie, it was predictive programming. And according to NASA documents, it's about to become our new reality. What's even more disturbing? Many of the steps outlined in their plans have already happened. The clock is ticking and the evidence is mounting. Are you ready to break free from the illusion? Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community if you haven't already, and sign up to become a member of the world's first ever cyber nation that truly believes in life, liberty, and the pursuit of your dreams. Visit joson.com and click the Join Us button today. It's completely free. The elite decided years ago to lie to us about the endgame of gene editing nanotechnologies and the convergence of a digital world with the human body. Biotechnology is literally the science of turning technology into new life forms and turning natural life forms into new technologies. While transhumanism is often described as a merger of man with machine, in reality, it's the extinction of the human species and all biological life forms. In a leaked presentation from NASA, titled Future Strategic Issues Future Warfare circa 2025, NASA presents a plan for the extinction of humanity that includes the emergence of cyborgs and virtual humans. Slide 2 is clearly titled The Bots, Borgs and Humans Welcome You to 2025 AD, revealing the elite's plan to relegate humans to a minority stake on Earth, living in a simulation, with bots and cyborgs performing most of the work for the elite class of humans who are allowed to survive the mass depopulation event. The Matrix wasn't just a movie, it was predictive programming, and humanity is being encouraged to accept its fate.
I was having dinner at a friend's house, this director, and he had some kids, and there was like a 13-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and they hadn't seen the film The Matrix. And so the director's like, well, why don't you just tell them what it's about? So I start to say, well, there's this guy who's in a kind of virtual world, and he finds out that there's a real world, and he's really questioning what's real and not real, and he really wants to know what's real. And the young girl was like, why? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, who cares if it's real? And I was like, what, you don't care if it's real? And she was like, no.
Isn't that wild?
It's awesome.
This is a war on humanity, and NASA confirms it's being coordinated by DARPA, US national security agencies including the FBI and CIA, as well as the US Air Force and other military departments, and the Australian DoD. There can be no doubt, this presentation is an extinction plan for humanity via transhumanism. In case you want to give NASA the benefit of the doubt, the presentation describes humans as a type of pestilence on spaceship Earth. To those who haven't been following closely, this might come as a shock. But describing humanity as a plague or pestilence upon the Earth is an obsession of the elite. In a January 2021 investor presentation, BioNTech, Pfizer's mRNA partner, also went as far as describing the human species as a disease plaguing the planet. And of course, King Charles's father Philip famously said he wanted to be reincarnated as a deadly virus to reduce the global population.
What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because where we are, there's nothing else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Not your guess.
According to the NASA presentation, the end goal in 2025 is to have the vast majority of humans existing in virtual form. The ultimate goal of the global elite's collaboration to exterminate the human species and upload human consciousness to a digital cloud is confirmed by an educational video from the China National Gene Bank. This disturbing video promotes the idea of everlasting life through a combination of extreme depopulation and the digitization of all living beings.
Gene is the foundation of all creatures to survive and prosper. Start with the most primeval life format. It passes through hundreds of millions of creatures, painting the grand picture of life history. gene lives in the thriving of life and imprints the extinction of species. Only those that have survived massive natural catastrophes are still around us. The rise of human beings has speeded up the extinction of species. The rise of human beings has speeded up the extinction of species. The rise of human beings has speeded up the extinction of species. Digitization of life will ensure the sustainable development of human beings. Digitization of life will ensure the sustainable development of human beings. Digitization of life will ensure the sustainable development of human beings. It guarantees the continuation of life. It lasts forever, for the eternal life.
The globalist ghouls are not even trying to hide their plans anymore. Working in lockstep with the Chinese dystopian gene bank, Klaus Schwab is openly calling for digitization of our brains so they can be plugged into the matrix.
I just would like to highlight what you said about the European Chips Act, because it's an important step to create the physical brain for digitalization.
The NASA documents expose that much of the globalist plans is already unfolding right before our eyes. Time is running out, and the proof is everywhere. The real question is, are you prepared to wake up and take back control? Today's sponsor is PillsForever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. Under Biden, the price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with PillsForever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor, thanks to fenbendazole.
2 years ago, Joe Tippins says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippins says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkout. Please click the link below this video or call 256-664-4170 to take advantage of this fantastic offer. According to the NASA presentation, the year 2025 will feature terrorist attacks in the United States, biological attacks, and an EMP or electromagnetic pulse causing widespread fires and destruction. We're only a week into 2025 and already we've seen most of these things happen. Critical infrastructure will be destroyed as part of a plan to bring civilization to its knees, according to the documents, and American citizens will be tortured on primetime news. Deborah Tavares has more details about this disturbing NASA presentation.
It was on the NASA website, and it was a document that actually is a PowerPoint presentation by Dennis Bushnell, the chief NASA scientist at the Langley Center. And it was presented in 2001, July of 2001, just a few months before 9/11. And what brought my attention to it and immediately rang some uncomfortable realizations was when we first came across it. It says on the website, Future Strategic Issues, Future Warfare circa 2025. And as I decided to just flip through it quickly to see what it was about, I was a little stunned on page 4. It said, the presentation is based in all cases upon existing data, trends, analysis, technologies, no pixie dust. And the entire premise of the document, or the PowerPoint, is about robots, cyborgs, and humans.
According to NASA, the global elite consider the human race to be useless. So they're going to exterminate the majority of us and force the remaining minority to live in a simulation. The document clearly states that the global elite, along with government agencies like NASA, will deploy silent weapons in a covert war against humanity in 2025, with the ultimate goal of depopulating the planet.
So who wrote this NASA document, and was this intentional? Did they want the public to see this, do you think, or?
Well, again, the Illuminati, the most wealthy, rich men on the face of the planet, always telegraph everything that they're going to do. So the fact that it was on the NASA website, it was certainly available to the public, but did they see it? Obviously not. Because had they looked at this document, you would know about it right now. And we don't. And that's the purpose of this discussion, is for people to know about this document. Again, the conflict between the future and the fact that they said it was a current reality in 2001 of July when this was actually presented. And what it said, which was quite shocking, on page 93, it said, "Capture, torture Americans in living color on prime time." And that is an unbelievable statement. Then it's followed up by saying, "Terror attacks within the continental United States using binary biologicals take down critical infrastructure. They are going to use an EMP, which is an electromagnetic pulse. They're going to use radiation frequencies against our brains, etc., and conduct serious psy-war and collateral damage and exploitation." On the same page 93, they say exploit CNN syndrome. Now, CNN, of course, is the network, the news media network, propaganda machine, and was set up by the CIA. You can watch the movie called Psy-War on stopthecrime.net for all the background information on CNN. Very, very interesting information. Then you go on and you read that on page 66, they say increasingly critical are human limitations and human downsides. Humans are too large, humans are too heavy, too tender, humans are too slow, both physically and mentally, and we require huge logistical trains, meaning we cost way too much money to maintain, and humans have rapidly decreasing to negative value. Can you even believe this? I mean, you're hearing this, and it's got to be rather shocking coming off of a NASA website, particularly when some of the agencies that are involved are the U.S. Air Force, DARPA, the CIA, the FBI, Southern Command, Atlantic Command, Australian Department of Defense, and other agencies. This is the corporation's agencies.
How are the elite planning to use NASA and other agencies to wage war on humanity and drastically reduce the global population? The NASA presentation lays out their chilling strategy. What's even more disturbing is that we've already witnessed the deployment of many of these weapons against humanity.
They talk also about, on page 9, this is very interesting and horrifying. Humans have taken over and vastly shortened evolution. They're going to direct evolution. They believe, the bankers, the global elites, believe that they have accomplished immortality. And they're doing that, again, keeping in mind that this entire document is about robots, cyborgs, and humans. They've already mapped our brains. We've just recently heard that they can transfer a human brain into machinery. So whenever they tell us that this is a new scientific discovery, we know it's been decades and decades prior to us ever finding out about these things. And they also talk about microdust as a weapon. They say that this micron-sized mechanized dust, which is distributed as an aerosol and inhaled into the lungs, the dust mechanically bores into the lung tissue and executes various pathological missions. They say it's a completely new type of warfare And it is legal. It's legal.
We recently exposed the World Economic Forum reports hiding in plain sight that confirms that upwards of 6 billion people will die in 2025. And according to reports from Davos, Klaus Schwab has confirmed that the stated goal is on target to be achieved. For those who have not seen the video, CIA-linked Deagle documents have long predicted that the United States will see its population decline by 68.5% in the year 2025. Germany is predicted to see its population decline by 65.1% in the year 2025. While other Western countries, including Canada, Australia and New Zealand, are also predicted to suffer huge declines in population. As we revealed, Deagle.com isn't just the work of one man, it's the work of the globalist elite consisting of the CIA, the Pentagon, the Rockefeller Foundation and the World Economic Forum. Deagle's work is not a prediction, it's a target. And Klaus Schwab has acknowledged that the elite are on track to hit their goals.
Nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
Just think of sensors planted into our brain.
It doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you if you take a genetic editing.
It's a fusion of the physical, the digital, and the biological world. That's really the essence of the fourth industrial revolution.
Decarbonization of the economy.
Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
This global reset is necessary.
Being able to see the globalist plan as clearly as we can see it now, we have an obligation to future generations to resist, denounce, and refuse any and all implementations of the technocratic agenda. We can win, for the simple fact that there are more of us than there are of them. But we have to be vocal about it, and we need to join forces and present a united front. We need to resist and say, I do not comply to everything they try to roll out. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elite, but we can't do it by ourselves. Subscribe to the channel and join the People's Voice Locals community to support the channel, join our amazing team and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet by eliminating the need for big tech companies to provide unreliable, overpriced services such as self-hosting, email, and data management. IPv6ers enables an easy and accessible way for you to host your own web and email server with direct end-to-end connections and enhanced security. This means no snooping from Big Brother and no interference from the technocratic elite. If Hillary Clinton can get away with running her own server, why shouldn't you? Go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 to sign up, or click the link below this video to take back control of the internet and win the info wars against the globalists. If you like our content, help support our sponsor IPv6ers and go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 today. Thank you IPv6ers for making this video possible.